Hello everybody, this is Ben Morton from Saxon Editing. I thought it would be nice to have some kind of video content on this blog. Even though editing and proofreading is all about writing, I thought it would be good for people to be able to put a face or a voice to some of the other content on our site. And an actual face might be a bridge too far, so I decided that a good compromise would be my voice and the cat's face. So here we have him. This is Mishek the cat. He's a terrible show-off and he's always wanted to be on the telly, so this arrangement probably suits everyone quite well. Continuing the theme of television, I wanted to talk about the Guardian newspaper's top 10 list of documentaries that they published this week. Top 10 lists of funny things, and no one ever really agrees about what should and shouldn't be on them. And whilst I've got my own opinions about the Guardian's list, that's neither here nor there. What I wanted to talk about today were two films in that list that I hadn't seen before, and which I'm really glad that I got to see. They kind of made my week, and I can't recommend them strongly enough. Those two films were Crumb by Terry Zwigoff and Grey Gardens by the Maysles brothers. Two, in a way, quite similar films about eccentric, damaged families struggling to survive in this modern American landscape. The first film, Crumb, is about the underground cartoonist Robert Crumb, or R. Crumb, who the art historian Robert Hughes compares to Bruegel at one point in the documentary, which I think is a fascinating comparison. And so the film is on one level about Robert Crumb talking about his life and his work, but on perhaps a more interesting level it's about his relationship with his two non-famous brothers with whom he started drawing comics as a child. And to this end, the film is really about the breakup of the family, or the breakdown of the family, the way that the violent, domineering father, now deceased, and the crazy mother, who was strung out on amphetamines all through the 50s, trying to keep her weight down, managed to completely destroy and reap havoc upon the other individuals who made up the family, namely the three boys, of whom there was Robert, who became famous at quite a young age, and so to some extent managed to get away. But the other brothers weren't so lucky. There was Maxon, who lives alone in this squalid San Francisco apartment, where he sits on a bed of nails and eats shoelaces, quite clearly insane. And then there's Charles, the older brother, who Robert twice in the course of the movie says was a more talented artist when they were children, who after the death of the father moved back in with their mother and became this type of hermit, I suppose, a kind of suicidal recluse, obsessed with the Long John Silver. It was a terrifying portrait of suburban America, a kind of modern day parable, really, of just how badly it can all go wrong if you're not careful. And the second film I wanted to talk about is called Grey Gardens, set in a dilapidated old mansion in East Hampton, New York, in 1975. There's two main characters in this film, both somewhat confusingly called Edie. There's Big Edie, who is the matriarch, the mother figure, who is this octogenarian former socialite, and her daughter, Little Edie, who live together in this derelict old mansion full of cats with no running water, where they make cocktails in old mayonnaise jars. And slowly over the course of the film it is revealed that they are not quite as loopy or as dislocated as they appear to be, when you find out little tidbits of information such as Paul Getty, the richest man in the world, asking little Edie to marry him, and she turned him down. and how the people of the borough that they live in, so Suffolk County in Hampton, New York, campaigned to have the house demolished on account of it being so derelict and unfit for human habitation. And Jackie Kennedy, of all people, stumped up money so that they could perform some minor renovations and carry on living there. Anyway, if you haven't seen these, and I hadn't, I strongly recommend getting hold of both of them. They're a real treat. Both as kind of a critique or a deconstruction of that sanitized post-war American dream, all that wholesomeness gone wrong. And perhaps more interestingly, just as a study of these people, these displaced characters who are smart and engaging, often funny, trying to survive in a world that has, to a large extent, completely rejected them. Okay, that's all for now. This was Ben Morton for SaxonEditing.com and Mishek the cat. Have a great weekend, and goodbye.